very interesting problem statement over the past few months. See, so AI has made ripples in the industry, right? In all industries for that matter. And what we have seen as a trend when it comes to upskilling or when it comes to adoption of AI amongst the general masses. And when I'm talking about the masses, it expands across not only working professionals, but people who are in their undergrads, who are pursuing post graduation, who are even in the class 11th and 12th also, right? So we have seen a general progression through like over the past 3.5 years, ever since GPT came out in November 2022. We started off with Gen AI, which then moved people's interest, like the overall domain moved towards applied AI and then eventually moved towards agentic AI. And of course, along the way, there's this very core, beautiful concept of vibe coding, wherein it provides an entry point for non-techies, non-developers to actually go out there, build products. Okay. So all the apprehensions, all the doubts that we had like 10 years ago, I would go something like, I have this wonderful idea for a startup here that maybe a water delivery service or something of that sort. I have this wonderful idea, but I can't get started because I'm not a developer. I can't code. I can't put it into, and I can't build out an application or a website for that. And that is curtailing my potential or curtailing my ability to actually go out there, push it. That is no longer valid in today's world, right? You must have heard, I mean, ever since Lovable came out, Lovable was the fastest company to reach 100 million ARR, if I'm not wrong, within 8 months of their release. And after Lovable, we have seen a like plethora of products that have been taking the market. Even before Lovable, there was Replit. We have also seen Bolt take a head start in this. Emergent, which is an Indian startup based out of San Francisco, of course, but Emergent has also made quite some ripples in the prototyping and vibe coding domain. So yeah, a lot of interesting developments that are happening. People have been at the point where they are building stuff, uh, building full-fledged businesses out of this, sitting right at home, uh, and the barrier of entry has come down so much. Is what my point is here. Earlier, it was a bit on the hard side, but now availability, accessibility is there for everyone. And if we are missing out, then that's completely on to us. So that is where we came about. We had an interesting problem statement that we were working around, that how exactly we enable people from all domains. Now the techies, of course, they can get started with coding. They can build stuff. But how do the non-techies get started with it, right? And that is what we were working around. We have worked around a lot of applied AI programs. We have done a lot of research on how agentic AI is influencing the market, not only the individual customers or individual learners like ourselves, but also companies, uh, right? And how exactly vibe coding can enable people like regular people, like marketers, like product managers, sales folks, designers, um, the non-tech janta basically, right? Even freelancers or people who are entrepreneurs working in their own businesses. How can they be also enabled towards towards getting out there, putting their work out there, not really curtailing themselves at all? That is where we arrived at the vibe coding, that we should do something around it. And here we are getting started, first of all, with the first webinar that we are hosting. We have Akshul with us. But first of all, I'll introduce you, Akshul, just welcoming you all. Akshul, thank you for joining in. Yes, and now I'll of course introduce Akshul, who's the speaker for the session. Akshul has had a stellar career so far, but I mean, an IMA graduate, and he has a bunch of wonderful uh, companies that he has worked at in his 11-year-old, 12-year-old career so far. Actually, if I'm not wrong, yeah, but yeah, I'll pass it on to you to for
Yes.
your introduction. I think
Yeah,
you'll do
sure.
best.
So, hi everyone. As you know, my name's Akshul, and it's been like almost 12 years into product management, and I've worked in different genres of built different genres of products from auto tech to prop tech, fintech. I've also worked in banking sectors, and now I currently work with a AI specific travel startup, which is based out of India, is also building products out in the Eastern Europe. So we are expanding, and with this entire AI wave, we are figuring out how travel can be reimagined by AI. And not just this, I've also built products for India plus the Southeast Asia GCC and the US market. So you might have come across certain products that I have actually built from scratch if you live in any of these areas, because those are some like really, really, I would say, very hyped up products as of now. But when we were building them, we were just kind of fiddling around what would work, what would not work. But yeah, so those are the words about me. And today's session we are gonna keep it like really, really engaging, and we're gonna talk about how AI is changing the landscape for all the jobs out there, and why we need to step in right now so that we become more AI enabled and not lose the race, the similar race that people have won earlier who are today still working, and they won the race earlier during the cloud computing era, and we are now facing this in the AI era. So let's just try to make it real engaging. Put up your questions whenever you have, and we'll also try to build an application, a small application today over Lovable, so that you also get a hang of things, that how easy and how interesting it has become for everyone to step into foots of each other. And now the roles are merging, so you will not just be doing one thing, you'll be doing multiple things, and you will actually be someone who will be a self learner over here, and you will actually go ahead and understand how do you scale your profile and how you become more eligible for the upcoming job roles for yourselves. Okay, so everyone, so today we're gonna start and understand why AI is getting into different shoes, and how AI is evolving, moving into different roles, how it is solving problems, making it easier for all of us to actually go ahead and complete our efficient tasks. So everybody has been talking about AI coming into the picture, stealing jobs and whatnot. I personally feel that AI is an enabler for us. The only thing is that if you know where and when to use AI to solve your complex problems, you're never gonna be out of the picture. You're always gonna be someone who knows how to use a good AI tool. So, with that perspective in mind, and how the roles are converging into one, we're gonna do today's session on vibe coding an app in 60 minutes. We're gonna be primarily using Lovable today. So let's first understand where all AI has stepped in terms of today's workforce. Okay. So as we all know that AI is no longer an optional thing. So you cannot say today that, look, I will go ahead and do it by myself. I will not use AI. I don't feel too optimistic in using AI. So what has happened in, I would say, in the last 2 quarters, actually, that AI has become a daily tool in most of our jobs, and a lot of organizations are now pushing it uh, to use AI, and they want you to be more AI aware, and they want you to utilize AI so that you go ahead and solve problems quickly. So instead of doing work as a single resource, they want you to work as multiple resources and finish works quickly wherever needed. So 92% of professionals actually today believe that AI will reshape their roles in the next 2 years, and it has actually started reshaping a lot of roles already. Almost 80% of the organizations have adopted AI in their workflows, be it a chatbot, be it planning an entire itinerary, be it solving complex lending mechanisms, be it solving an entire e-commerce journey, making searches more easier. That is like the primary thing that AI solved for all of us. So there are a lot of workflows in which organizations have already embedded AI. What is the upside of AI? So with AI, if you were delivering a feature, let's say in, I would say in a quarter, now you can go ahead and deliver that feature in less than a week or maybe a week at max. So it has actually gone ahead and improved the feature delivery by 3.5x bare minimum. Okay. And I have personally written an app just by doing very precise prompting and making an app live in a single day when we were about to launch a new product. and the timeline was very huge, and we wanted to go ahead and test the waters. I wrote down an app by myself, published it using AI. Yes, there are certain caveats wherein you need to have a database, you need to have a publishing account, you need to have access to your current existing code base of your organization, but organizations are today very open to do that. Okay. So AI is no longer an optional thing. It is a very, very essential part of your life now. So now, why do we think that being AI aware is critical? So number one thing is our career growth. As we all know that new skills mean new opportunities. You would go ahead on LinkedIn right away. If you go to LinkedIn and search AI roles, you will see there are AI product managers, there are AI engineers, there are all a bunch of AI roles popping across every single domain. There used to be very heavy sales roles as well earlier, wherein there used to be a very big role of telecallers. It is totally replaced by AI callers now. We all receive a lot of calls wherein the sound of the person speaking is pretty much humane, but that is an AI talking to you. There is an entire economy around influencers. That part is also being taken up by AI. So there are AI influencers now who look like an actual human, who talk like an actual human, and you can go ahead and get your marketing done via them. So AI is actually getting into every single career path. So you need to go ahead and understand the skills of building all of those things so that you are part of those opportunities. AI helps you with taking good data driven decisions. So instead of human judgments, you can rely on AI because it has access to a lot of database and it can give you better and faster insights. You will also get a very good competitive edge. If today you are someone who understands where to plug what kind of AI, you are someone who will be in a very, very high demand, and you can mark my words that in the next 1 year, anybody who is not using AI for the right purposes, and when I say right purposes, AI should not be something which you only use for searches, wherein you only use AI for random image generations, etc. If you are actually solving a core user problem using AI inside an organization or for your own business, you are someone who will always have a competitive edge. Then comes definitely it is an innovation catalyst. So there are no limitations. You can build by yourselves something which was earlier very, very impossible for you. You were someone who could have never written a code. You could have never tested an application using an automation suite. All of this is possible, and it is at least 10x faster than what it was earlier. So being data driven, improving your career growth, having a competitive edge, and having an innovation catalyst. All of this is why being AI aware is very, very critical for you, for us right now. So AI is transforming almost every single role today. Uh, some key roles that AI is transforming. Number one is the product management role. I know this because I myself am a product manager. So product managers were earlier coordinators. We used to gather requirements. We used to write a lot of PRDs. We used to coordinate between sales, marketing, engineering, quality analyst teams, etc. We were more of like a coordinator. With AI, we have become creators. Now, what I do as a product manager is the market analysis that I used to do for months. Now I finish that in hours by giving the right prompts. I am able to generate prototypes instantly using Lovable, using Claude, multiple tools. We used to earlier create prototypes in at least 3 to 4 weeks. So that was a long time to go live as well. But now those are instant. We are able to validate our ideas using AI, which we used to validate in multiple meetings across organizations. And we are able to iterate on live products in real time. So what you can do is you can use AI to use your product and give you suggestions as well, and we are able to get AI synthesized user insights as well out of that. So the role of product managers have shifted from being a coordinator to a creator, and everybody is now becoming a creator with AI as well. And if you talk about designers, We must have all learned a lot of hype around cloud design launching, stocks of Figma going down. So that is the reality. Designers were someone who were totally reliant on Figma or maybe Photoshop for some designers as well. Earlier, they used to create very detailed mockups, and that used to take a multiple weeks. They were working towards making pixel perfect Figma designs so that nobody could come back and say that this design is not looking that good. Now they are able to move it very, very quickly. So they are able to just give a prompt, get everything written very quickly using Claude or Lovable, and it's just going ahead. Same is happening with the quality analyst team as well. So they're able to test in real time. Instead of writing your test cases, they just move ahead and do the QA in a jiffy now. So how do you become AI aware? Tool fluency, prompt engineering, continuous learning, ethical awareness. All of this is what we all know. What we don't know today and what we all are here for is how do we go ahead and build an application by ourselves, right? So let's just jump into doing that. For today's session, we are going to use Lovable and let's build a very quick application, something that we all uh, tend to use. Uh, Maybe if you're an iOS user, you'll be using Notes application. If you're a Android user, you'll be using Google Docs or something. A shopping list kind of an application wherein you create a list, app reminds you that okay, you still haven't purchased this particular item, and when you purchase that item, you're able to mark that item as purchased. So that kind of an application, let's try to create that in a very small time, and also we will plug in a database so that all that information of people logging in gets saved with respect to what that particular person has added into their shopping cart. So let's just move on to Lovable. FYI, Lovable gives you free credits. So if you want to try this out, you just have to write a very good prompt so that you utilize less credits. And once you have utilized those credits, you'll have to move to a pro plan to use Lovable, and so is the case with any other uh, product as well, I would say. So I'll just move on to Lovable
The
now.
interesting part, Akshul. I was waiting for this. Also, on the prompting bit, I just had a one thing. Now, when I was trying out Lovable, it has free credits, of course. And then when I try to refine the prompt as how I'm building, it eats up those credits, and I lose a lot of free of them. So what I used to do is also, I try to do is I try to generate the prompt itself through a GPT or a Gemini or a Claude. That I
Hmm.
want to make something like this in Lovable. Give me a detailed prompt out there, and it would throw out all the like a very one pager kind of a thing. Do you think that's a fair approach, or is
Actually,
Lovable
that
good
is
enough to
actually that
actually
is
do
a fair approach. So every AI tool is becoming more and more costly. With the
Mm,
launch
yeah,
of better AI products in the market. Claude has just launched its latest 4.7,
yeah, focus.
and that is eating credits like crazy. So
I
what
swear.
everyone is
Yeah.
doing is they're utilizing the free versions of AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. to curate a prompt. And then
Mm,
what they do is they utilize that prompt in these products wherein they are actually coding. So it makes our lives easier so that
it
we don't
does.
up the credits for unnecessary stuff.
True, true. And you're so right. I mean, it's all becoming so expensive. All of these, even if you get a Claude Pro subscription, which I do have, it eats
Hmm.
up those credits in no time if I'm building an application, if I'm building something out there. And
Yeah.
Lovable app, of course, which is why this was an actual problem statement that we were dealing with when we were coming up with a product. So that is why the vibe coding program that we are launching for like all the people out there, we're actually providing access to Lovable for a month. So
Hmm.
that base premium version of Lovable will be accessible to learners so that they don't feel handicapped coming in that I only have 5 credits a day that will get replenished again the next day. Instead, if they're building and they are in the zone, they can go about end to end building the entire product, not get disturbed. So yeah, that was an
So
important learning for us.
my key has always been that my first prompt is very lengthy, and then I keep
Mhm.
on refining it because in the first go, I want this AI tool to understand what I want to build. So since
Fair
it's
enough.
a shopping app, so just look at my prompt. I've stopped using Gemini because I've been doing this for a while, but I recommend people to first get their prompt ready via Gemini or ChatGPT. So
Perfect.
we're
Let's
gonna
get on with it.
build a mobile responsive shopping list application. So, for someone who doesn't know coding at all, has never been exposed to engineering, some words might be like a very foreign word for them. So you can skip those. This is me giving a prompt uh, to Lovable because I know some things already. So you will, if you think that you don't know something, you can just ask that right away in chats, and you can maybe just raise your hand and we'll answer that. So whenever I say mobile responsive, that means that I'm creating something which is mobile friendly. Doesn't mean that it won't work on web, it will, but it will be adjusted to mobile screens. And there are different sizes of mobile screens. So mobile responsive makes that product responsive on a mobile screen. Okay. So now I've given it a very precise one. Now let's tell Lovable my requirements. First is a listing screen. Add, mm, delete categories like grocery, home repair, etc. Second, what we need is reminders. Um, icon on each item to set a day/time. Trigger notification. Time is about to reach. Third is data storage. Save all data to DB. The four is UI. So if you know a little bit about UI, you can write some specific terms to Lovable. If not, just say minimalist design with clear buttons and use latest design language. Okay. Um, okay, let's start with this. So what I did, I just gave Lovable this prompt. Now Lovable is gonna do its magic. It's gonna understand what I want. So as you see, it has given it a name, My Shopping Pal already. I did not tell Lovable what this app is gonna be called. And now what Lovable is doing is it is analyzing data storage mechanisms, patterns. So if you want to understand what it is doing, you can click over here and it will keep on telling you whenever it has an answer, right? So now it is asking me a question. So which color palette feels right for my shopping list app, right? So let's choose this color palette. Um, Modern tech. Let's go ahead with a modern tech. How should reminder notifications be delivered? So see, um, there are multiple ways of achieving anything in an application or in a website, right? What Lovable is asking me right now is how do I want to achieve that particular thing? So how should a reminder notification be delivered? I only want it in app. It's a browser notification. I do not need to do any kind of extra third party API integration for this. So it's Sage and Cream is my color, Modern Tech is my typography. Typography is how my fonts are gonna look like, and how will reminders be delivered? It will be in-app only. So that's the first question that Lovable asked me for my prompt. Okay, so now I told Lovable to use a database. Now, there is no database that we currently have, right? We do not own any DB tables. We haven't taken any kind of server and everything. The best part is Lovable already has that. So there is a connector. So what are connectors? Let me just go back and show you. So there are connectors. When you go to Lovable on the home screen, you will see connectors. What does connector do is connector allows you to connect with different applications. So what the best connector that you have for database is Supabase. Supabase is free to use. You can click on Supabase. It will ask you to connect your account. You will have to sign up. That is it. Once you sign up using your email ID, you will get connected with Supabase. That is it. And now you have your own database. You do not need to purchase any kind of database. That is the beauty that Lovable has, that it gives you a database as well. So complete backend and AI model. So built-in database, add an LLM, free to start and all of that. So let's allow. Somebody wanted the prompt in the chat. There you go. Okay. So it takes a little bit of time because this is the first time that I'm giving prompt to Lovable. What it does is it learns basis your behavior. So once it understands what kind of products you're building, it will not ask you so many things. It will keep on building it for you very quickly. Okay, so it's getting ready. So as you see, it is enabling a cloud tool integration now. It's going ahead with the data layers. See, checking the Supabase client setup. So I have already connected my Supabase client. If you wouldn't have connected it, it would ask you to connect your Supabase client. And you will get a similar kind of a chip over here. Connect your Supabase account. Once you click on it, it will take you to the sign up screen and you just have to enter your email, set up a password. That is it. And your Supabase account is ready. So here you can see. So these are all your code files. It is writing a CSS file for front end. It is creating category filters, item rows, item forms, reminders. So any kind of code. So I haven't actually told Lovable over here in what coding language I want to build this application. You can also do that. If you want a specific coding language, you can tell Lovable to code in that language and it will do that for you. There are a lot of times that in your organization you will hear this word that we are going through a code based change. What is a code based change? Some years back, some code might have been written in let's say PHP. Now you want to write that code in Python. Lovable can do that as well for you. Okay, so Lovable is telling me that it has built a minimal shopping app and it is loading the preview as of now. So here you can see it has created an environment for me. This is the code if somebody wants to go through the code as well. This is the item form for adding the items. This is the code for adding an item. Similarly, this is the code for filters. So you can see your changes over here as well. So now let's go back to latest. Okay, so here is our preview of the very minimal shopping application. Okay, now you see, let's test it. Okay, so let's select a category, grocery, and let's say I want to add cereal. Okay, it is giving me an option to increase or decrease the quantity as well. Let's say I want two cereals, add, and it went into my shopping list. If I want to, let's say, do a full body checkup and I want to remind myself for that also, I can do. So one full body checkup. And if I want to remind myself, I told Lovable to add a calendar with date and time functionality. So let's say I want to do my full body checkup today at 8 to 10 p.m. and save. So a reminder is also set now. Okay. And one thing that we didn't tell Lovable and it has missed out on that is what if I want to build a authentication mechanism? So people would like to sign in to this particular account so that everyone has their own specific, I would say, accounts for their grocery items, right? So that we'll do in the next prompt. One thing I want to tell you is that in Lovable, you don't have to give prompts for very basic things. So there is this icon, this button, visual edits. If you click on visual edits and let's say you want to change the color of this particular button, right? So you see this particular section has popped up. Now, if you want to, let's say, change the background color, you want it to look like this. Text color, you want to change maybe to a darker one. Mm, Okay. Secondary, primary. Yeah. You can also choose a custom color. Maybe if we want it to go really, really dark. So we can do that as well. So you can change colors. You can also change the font type. So there are, you see the font is changing in real time. You can see how big or small you want the font to be. You can also change the style. There are different fonts available, sans serif, serif, mono, whatever font you want. Alignment, if you want it to be centrally aligned, if you want it to be left aligned, you can do that as well. So there are a bunch of changes you can do over here. So whatever changes you do, you will click on send and it will make all those changes. It will do all those changes for you. What happens in other, okay, so one functionality we have tested. Uh, I don't know whether you saw that, but let's discard this section. And let's go through the application once again. So we built a specific feature for reminding us for a specific item if we have to purchase that. And inside that reminder, what we have to do is so you see reminder, full body checkup. Don't forget to grab this. I chose 8 to 10 p.m. and it is reminding me already. And there is a specific bell icon. So what will happen in your mobile devices, it will use your Chrome notifications or Safari notifications to remind you of this particular item. Now let's do the next thing. On it is already prompting me. So what Lovable does you don't have to think what else is left. It understands that what you're building and it will tell you what next you need to do. So as I told you that we don't have an authentication in this particular application, it is already prompting me in a chip that do you want to add an authentication support. So add login. So each user only sees their own shopping list instead of sharing by device ID. What is device ID? Every device in which this URL will be opened will have a unique ID. Instead of that, we want to capture, let's say, their specific email addresses. So let's give this prompt. Now, Lovable will build an entire login mechanism for us. If you go and talk to a developer today and understand from them that how much time does it take to build a login flow inside an application, they would easily say 2 days or 3 days and you will be able to build it in a very, very small time over here. So I would say in 15 to 20 minutes, you'll be able to build an entire application and publish it. That is the max. And we haven't actually given it a very beautiful design language. We can change that as well. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So you can go to Dribble, look at a lot of it designs that have been put by actual designers over there. Save any image, give that to Lovable, and it will change the design for you accordingly. Yes, Sudeepta, I'll tell you how to publish. Just let's go ahead with one or two more features and then we'll publish it because that is the core part. How do we publish this particular application? So anyone right now understands what's happening over here. We have coded an entire front end in a front end language, most probably CSS, Tailwind CSS. It has written a backend flow for reminding you as a user of when to grab what item at what particular time. There is an entire backend which is there. There is a database which is saving all this data of your shopping items specific to your device ID. And now what we are doing is we are building on top of a device ID, we are building a authentication mechanism which will have an email password plus a Google authentication. So that now instead of device ID, user ID becomes the primary part. There you go. It has built a login screen. There is an option to create an account and you can sign in. So let's try a random thing. What if I put down my email address with some random password and I try to sign in? See, inv it has validations also input over here. Invalid login credentials. What if I just write this? Again, invalid login credentials. Now let's try to create an account. So I actually entered test123 and it is also prompting me password is a weak and easy to guess password. So it will not allow me to create an account with such weak password. So all of these are validations that we put while building an application. And now I've created an account. There is a logout button as well. Now, since I've created an account, let's see if items are saved in my account. So we have added 3 items and we put in a reminder for this for 8:18 p.m. today. Save. Reminder is set. So all these prompts are also there now. Okay. If I log out and I log back in, is it retaining my perfect? It is awesome. Now we'll do one major testing. I used an email, which is a Gmail account, and now I'm trying to log in via Gmail from the same account, and it has signed in. And here it is. So it is utilizing the same email ID and it is linking my actual Gmail account with the email ID that I have actually put in over here. So it is not creating duplicate accounts. A lot of products do that, by the way, but this app is not doing that. So we are able to go ahead and use the application properly. Now, one quick thing, this app doesn't look too good, right? So what I've done is I've downloaded one random design from Dribble around shopping app. What you can do is you can just easily drag and drop a file over here and you can tell Lovable to use that design language. Use the design language and design items from this image and make the application UI minimal and UX friendly. Now you will see the UI will change totally. The app now will become more um, appealing in terms of its look and feel. So it's gonna review the design language from the image that I've given. So let me show you guys the image that I've given to Lovable if it's gonna let me. So this is an image that I've provided to Lovable, which has an orange color button, icons, option to go ahead and mention certain prices as well. So it has done it. It will actually make the app look even better now. So now it is implementing better UI. See, so it has changed the design language. It is gonna make my CTAs pop out when I hover over them. So it's doing all those changes according to the UI. You can also add animations. You don't have to wait for a developer to add animations. Yes, Deepak, it is secure. Uh, even though it goes to the Lovable site, but as I told you, all the data that you have for your account is properly secured and is encrypted for your specific account. People have actually deployed applications made on Lovable which have a Lovable domain. What you can also do is if you still want to make it even more specific to you, you can purchase a domain from GoDaddy or any other publishing site, and you can publish the application on your domain as well. So there are multiple options that Lovable provides. Okay, so now our design is actually, yes, so the reminder is now colored red, correct. And now we have an improved design. We can keep on improving on top of it. So see, I asked the application to remind me at 8:18. It is 8:20. So it reminded me we were giving more prompts to Lovable during that time. So now it is showing that you have missed out on this particular item. What now adding an item is even easier by this bottom sheet with an animation of sliding up. So it has made changes basis what I gave as a UI reference. You can give multiple UI references. You can give an entire design file to Lovable. It will build it for you totally. So there are multiple options. Uh, Now, if you want to go ahead and publish this particular uh, project, I would say. So what you can do is one thing, click over here. It will generate a URL for you. Um, Deepti, credits are always limited in any such tool. You can go ahead and purchase more credits. As part of the program that upGrad is offering, they're gonna give you free credits also, I guess, for a month. So let's name this application as shoppingpal.lovable.app. And if you want to, as I told earlier to Deepak, that if you want to go ahead and purchase your own domain, you can go ahead and buy a domain, or you can connect your existing domain if you have purchased from some other platform. So now we want to publish, so we just have to click on publish now, and it will start publishing the project for us. It's quite simple. There's not much hassle for anyone who is a little bit aware on how to do their prompting. Okay. So prompting is the only tricky part in any, I would say, um, any kind of AI tool. Even when you're talking to ChatGPT randomly or Gemini, if you haven't given it the right prompt, it will start hallucinating. You don't want your AI to hallucinate. You have to put guardrails. You have to be very precise with AIs. So with any tool, I always say that in AI, if your prompting is right, you're always going to make the right product. And then, and this is the published URL now, shoppingpal01.lovable.app. If you want to go ahead and share this URL with anyone, you can go ahead and share this URL with anyone, and the app will work as is. There will not be any change to the application. They can sign in, sign up, create their shopping list, get reminded. All of it works. So if you want to try it out by yourselves, you can try it. Actually, Deepak, we'll take questions, but I'll just answer this question. So, yes, it is possible to know if that app is created actually by Lovable, by looking at the URL. Um, but if you purchase your own domain, nobody is ever going to know. So, what organizations do is, and what we do in our organization is, we build everything and we already have our own domain in our organization and we deploy this code directly onto our domain. We don't use Lovable's URL. We deploy it directly inside our app. So that makes it easier. Another thing, what developers today are doing. So you see there is another connector over here. This connector is to connect your GitHub. Every organization has code residing inside a Git repository. Once you connect GitHub, Lovable gets access to the entire code and it understands what products you have. So it is even easier when you're in an organization and you want to code something over there by yourselves and you're not a developer nor a designer and you want to build something. The tool, be it Lovable, be it Claude, be it Cursor, it understands what kind of products you have, how do you write code, and it is very easy for any person to start developing on top of it. So it is that easy. Any other questions, anybody? Okay. So this is our URL shoppingpal01.lovable. It is publicly visible and hit publish. And that's how easily we are able to publish a product. No hiccups, no difficult coding, nothing. And this is something that everyone in our organization and every other organization is doing. And we all are trying to get even better. And you see in this entire demo, what I did, this live demo, I created an application in less than 15 minutes. It's a very basic application, but if you spend like 30, 40 minutes, you can refine this application and build every single feature on top of it. What you can do is there is no limit to what you can do on Lovable or any other AI tool. It's your imagination on how good you want an app to be. You can build every single feature that you use on your phone over here, and it will write every single code for you. And this is what we made today.
Awesome. Actually, let me just try it out myself as well.
Yeah, even I want to try. Okay, yeah. So, if you want to go back to the previous design which you have created, you will have your entire history in the tool and you can go back to that previous design. You can go back to that prompt and say that keep this prompt. That is it. And it will discard your further designs that you have made. Um, So it is not primarily used for prototyping. It started out as a prototyping tool, but it has evolved over the years and months. And now Lovable is not just a prototyping tool. You can connect your Git account. You can build an entire website, an entire application, connect databases, publish it. So it is a whole and soul coding tool, I would say. It's like more of like Codex or Claude Code or Cursor, and Lovable is another competitor to all of these. It's just that Lovable's UI makes it easier for non-developers to use it. So, did anyone try this URL?
I
Did it
did.
work?
I did. Looks good. Yeah.
Work,
I
work
can
for
set
you?
my reminders. I can add my grocery list. I can add anything that happens, like any list for that matter. It can be my personal productivity tool
Yeah.
in a summary for that
Yeah.
matter. Right.
You can keep on enhancing it like by giving
Yeah.
more, maybe not just productivity. So you can add like you can connect your social media accounts or your entertainment accounts by giving it a prompt, and it will remind you of a specific show when to watch that show as well. So you can do a lot of things. So maybe there is like a football match you want to get reminded of.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will do it all for you. It will
Need not be even personal, right? I mean, actually, I can use it as a reminder app, like for my meetings,
Yep.
for my emails, for the calls that I need to make, any clients that I need to reach out to at a particular point. I mean, this can be my personal assistant of sorts. Of
Yes.
course, the use case, I mean,
Yeah,
the way you
depends on the
simplified
use
it, it's
case.
exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, this is how easy you can make products on Lovable.
And this to say that we made in just like 15 minutes, and it's a very
Yeah.
basic thing that we have made, like anything anybody can use. But of course, it like highlights if you spend a good 2, 3 hours on this, I mean, a lot of potential
Hmm.
that is possible.
So
What do you think? Yes, people keeps just put it in the chat. How do you like the product? Any thoughts? How do you like to improve it?
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, if you're saying something, let's continue,
Yeah,
or
I
we'll
was
take the
just
questions in the chat.
answering to the
Yeah, yeah.
latest question. Michael has a question that can we use RAG when building an app using Lovable? Yes. So RAG models are supported. It is supported on any AI tool that you will use today. So you can do that. And you can ask Lovable by giving it a prompt to set up RAG for you in Lovable, and it will do that. It will also cover your edge functions.
So there are a couple of other questions there in the chat. Uh,
On answering them, but yeah, it is good to know the logic and process lines before hitting Lovable. So see, this is something that I always tell everyone that see, sending random prompts to any tool will always kill your credits and will also make the AI tool hallucinate. If you know some basics, it's better to put those things in your prompts. Like I said that I wanted a minimal design. In some places, I said that I want user authentication. I could have randomly said that I want to log in as a user, right? Then it would have only created one specific item for me, not the entire authentication. So whatever logics and processes you can use Lovable for that. And if you don't know any logics and processes, then Lovable is gonna prompt you in specific chips that do you mean this specific part? Like it prompted me for user authentication. It prompted me for reminders. So it will also prompt you. It is not just gonna leave you stranded in your prompting. Deeply lovable, be it anti-gravity or cursor. See, I'll break it down for you. Cursor is a tool which is primarily used by developers. who already are developers. Cursor helps them refine their code with much more ease. Lovable and Claude Code, on the other hand, are tools which are used by non-developers because the UI and the UX makes it easier for them to understand what is happening over there. Cursor is too code specific. It will keep on showing you a lot of code that it is writing. These products will only show you what they are doing as of now with respect to a one liner or the preview. So every tool is doing similar job as of now. It's just the UX that has made it easier for people to use it.
Perfect. That answers this question, folks. Any other questions that you might have? Okay.
Explain about self-hosting. Self-hosting means that you already have. So, what do you mean by self-hosting? You want to host on your own domain, right? So, there are two ways: purchase a domain via any other domain provider, GoDaddy, whatever, or Lovable also has a service wherein it will help you to purchase a domain. So, you can purchase that and ask Lovable to publish this particular project on that domain. So instead of xyz.lovable.com, it will be whatever domain you have purchased. So same process, just you will have to tell Lovable and give access to your domain provider.
Perfect.
Um,
Deepak is saying a list of catchphrases, prompts that could be helpful.
There is no such list of catchphrases or prompts actually. You learn it gradually, and prompting improves when you are working with an AI tool because it will ask you very specific questions. Like if I give my example, when I started using Cursor, I started with Cursor actually, and it was too techie product for me. And when I started writing on Cursor, my questions were my the prompts that I was giving was like the way I do Google searches. And it used to burn a lot of credits. Gradually, I started understanding that, okay, this is what I need to ask to get the right answer. So it's more like how you ask Google today to get the right result. You will understand what you have to write on an AI tool to get the right product delivered to you. Manoj, it's more of like a choice, I would say. Lovable versus Cloud Code now. Earlier, I used to move towards Lovable for prototyping, and Cloud Code was not there at that point of time. But now, when Cloud Code is here, it's more of like which AI tool of mine has what context. So for me, my some products Lovable has more context to. Some of my products, Claude has more context to. So, basis what I'm working on, I give prompts over there. So, I don't want my AI tools to do a lot of things and just keep on asking me more questions. So, I've trained them for specific products. Will
Actually, let's take this as the last question that
uh,
we have from Renikesh here, and then we'll close out the session.
So if you want to continue using this for personal usage only, Renukesh, I don't think it will work because it will have very few credits. In free, I think it has 5 credits a day,
Yeah, yeah, that's just 5 credits a day that can go up until only 30 per month, and they won't replenish it further. Yeah,
and in 5 credits, you will be able to build at max what I built today. At
yeah.
max, maybe not even the authentication part, just that. So you will have to maybe buy a pro plan. And your second question is once you run out of credits and want to continue on another platform, I highly do not recommend that because you will have to give your prompt from here. You will have to download an MD file or whatever file type that Lovable has, and you have to give it to the other tool. and it will take two or three more prompts to reach this level, and you will exhaust your credits there also. So it's like that you will keep on exhausting your credits everywhere whenever you give this prompt. So it's not like that you copy paste your project from one place to another. You will have to give
Build
that,
it from scratch.
yeah. So you will have to build it on that particular platform from scratch.
Let's take this last one. Kelsey is asking, what if you wanted to host it on Apple and Android app stores? Or is that not what Lovable can do?
You can actually. So you will, if you have an Apple developer account or an Android store account, so inside connectors, you can connect those, and then you will have to go ahead and download your specific file for iOS store and Android store. It will give you your specific files that you will have to upload over there. So you can go ahead and upload over there. It will not directly publish because they have their own set of questions that they ask during publishing an application.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, Akshul, for answering all these questions. And I hope that answers for you with us.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening and a morning wherever you are from.